You are allowed to be bad, but you are not allowed to skip. It's okay to be bad, but it's not okay to skip. So, the basic principle here is that being a beginner is normal, but inconsistency is optional. Everyone starts as a beginner, everyone starts at the bottom, everyone starts at zero. Of course, now what when I say this, there are some people who are privileged to who have got advantage in life in terms of background, finance, connections. But generally speaking, the people who are self-made generally start at, when if it's a startup or if it's a new thing, then people generally start at bottom, and it's completely normal to be a beginner. And you have to understand that every master starts with visible incompetence. No one starts with being an expert. No one starts with confidence. No one starts with being competent and proficient in their field. You have to be humble enough to accept your not shortcoming, but your beginningness. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, being a beginner, and you have to accept that reality and build from there. Now, something I learned long time ago, a while ago, was that when you consume content, let's talk in terms of content, or your field of interest. So when you are interested or passionate about something, you have got a very high taste level. Okay, so one is the taste level. You only consume a certain form of content. You only have you have standards for yourself which you do not accept anything below that. So your taste level may be very high, but the reality level and your skill level may not yet match that taste level, and that is completely fine. But as you progress in life, as you repeat doing the things that you're supposed to do, you will gradually grow from your skill level to your taste level. So it's important to be humble and start at bottom, because the only barrier is your ego. We do not want to look bad, and that's why we skip being a beginner, or we skip being looked as incompetent, which will only harm you in the long term. And you have to understand that the only rule for growth is repetition. Repetition beats talent in the long term. And when you show up daily, it has got a momentum effect, and that slowly but steadily and gradually builds your identity, which is one of the most powerful thing which you can have. Who you are, your identity is something that will make you or break you. And it is very important to consciously evolve your identity and think about it in terms of growth and evolution. Because if you see yourself as someone who is not active, as someone who just stays passive in life, then you will the actions that flow from you will also be passive. But if you have an identity of someone who is active, someone who is assertive, someone who goes after what he wants in life, that identity will completely change the course of your life. Now, the cost of skipping is that when you miss even once, it weakens the habit loop, it weakens the habit streak. We are so fond of taking the visual cues, the calendar of completing one thing every day. So if you skip even once, which is not a problem, skipping twice is a problem, which we'll talk about in later video. But yes, even if you skip once, it weakens the habit loop. It weakens that momentum, it weakens that drive that you have when you are achieving something. So never ever skip your workouts, your making videos, your study sessions, or anything that you are supposed to do. Now, most people get stuck at bottom, and most people do not want to look bad because they think that quality is very important, which is important, but you have to understand the sequence. First, you have got quantity and then quality. Always remember, first quantity and then later quality. So, first build consistency and then you refine your performance. So, if you're too much worried about the quality at the starting stages of your development or growth, then you will get stuck, and maybe you will not see enough progress, which will, kind of motivate you to pursue that thing. So quality will come, inshallah, when you follow a path and you make the required repetitions day in and day out. Now, it requires emotional discipline. So you have to act even if you feel embarrassed or even when you feel discomfort. Discomfort and embarrassment are basically only the entry ticket. If you are not okay feeling embarrassed, if you are not okay feeling uh, a certain amount of discomfort, to grow to a certain level in life is not for you. And I have heard this from many great people that I follow, and someone like who have done some real world progress in terms of business and tech, that if you're not comfortable being embarrassed and discomfort, you will not progress in life. It's just basically the entry ticket. And bad days compound into good years if you persist. So always have a long term view. In the start, you will have bad days. It's okay. But in the long term, it will, transform and convert into good years, inshallah ta'ala. And also, progress belongs to those who show up, not those who wait to be perfect. Perfection is a trap. Perfection is inachievable. Perfection is a myth. Every time you try to be perfect, you will block yourself, you will self sabotage. And people who are imperfect and confident and, happy go lucky kind of people, they will go much ahead in life because they are not worried about perfection, they are worried about progress.